All right, new Jets wide receiver Devante Adams is expected to start Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers after being traded to New York just Tuesday. Now, Adams requested that trade from the Raiders a few weeks ago with the hopes of being reunited with a quarterback that he had familiar ties with. So this also comes on the heels of Jets owner Woody Johnson parting ways with head coach Robert Saleh. Now, Rodney, do you feel like the Jets now have what it takes to win it all?
All of what? What you mean? The Super Bowl?
Maybe let's start with the division.
Maybe the division, because the division is not that great this year. So I think that they still have a shot at maybe catching Buffalo. That last week's game, I think, was a tough L. They don't have an offensive line. The defensive front is weak as well. I mean, this is not address an area of supreme need. Granted, the receiving core has looked out of sorts at times with Aaron Rodgers. You know, Davante and Aaron go back, years and years and years. But I just don't think this is what the Jets needed in order to be the football team that coming into the season they desire to be. It's in the trenches where they're struggling the most. They cannot keep Aaron Rodgers upright. This is not going to make them a more favorable team to win a Super Bowl by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, and I know, like, for Woody, he says that he has the most experienced roster, the most talented roster, but it seems like you're putting all of your eggs in Aaron Rodgers' basket, and who's to say he's going to even be there next year or even be playing football come next year? You literally brought over everybody that Aaron Rodgers wanted you to bring. You got Randall Cobb, you got Lazard, you got 3 offensive linemen, you got Devante Adams. He wanted Nathaniel Hackett calling the plays. You got that, and they still weren't winning. So at what point do you really kind of take a step back and say, why am I giving Aaron Rodgers everything that he's asking for, and you may not even get any return from it because, like I said, he may not even be playing next year?
Yeah, the worst part is that he's been the weakest link. Aaron
Right.
Rodgers himself has been the one who he's supposed to be the straw that stirs the drink, and he's been terrible this year. Like, his numbers are on par with Zach Wilson's last year. And that's not even like hyperbole.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yes. No, it is. Through 6 games, it's the same. It's identical.
They scored the same amount of points year to date this year as they did last year. So there has been no improvement on the offensive end for the Jets coming into the season. It's tricky. Like, I think there's more confidence. They had more confidence, right? Like, I think the Jets last year felt very dejected with Zach Wilson under center. So maybe they have a little bit more confidence. But in terms of on-field production, Aaron Rodgers has not been a difference maker by any stretch of the imagination. He looks like a deer in headlights when he drops back. He has no mobility whatsoever. He cannot escape any pass rush. He's getting touched a lot. 2 games ago, he got hit 14 times. And at 41 years old, I think mentally it's starting to wear on him.
I do hate how everything went down with Mike Williams, though, because a lot of people are giving Aaron a little flack for that, the way that he handled that on Pat McAfee's show.
What do you think about that?
And not maybe holding himself accountable. I mean, when I watched it, I thought that it was underthrown. I thought that he had to turn around and slow up, and when he did that, that's why he slipped. That's what I saw. I don't know, but I didn't like it. I feel like because y'all already have so much kind of going on in that locker room, I didn't feel like that needed to be said on ESPN. I felt like you could have had a conversation. Whatever your grievances were with Mike Williams, you could have said that to him. I mean, I guess at that time he probably knew, okay, I'm getting Devante Adams, so I don't even care about this guy. But you might need him.
You might, or you might not. I think, not even I think, he definitely ran the wrong route. I'm torn about this because I also do not mind acknowledging when things go wrong. I know there's a culture of you're supposed to protect your teammates and you're never supposed to say like full truth, but he did run a wrong route. And I don't think it's a bad thing to acknowledge that somebody did something wrong. I don't think he scapegoated him. I think he just acknowledged what was. And as somebody who kind of understands Aaron Rodgers a little bit because we have some similar personality traits and quirks, I don't think he was being malicious. I think that he's just like, I'm keeping it a buck. Once you hit 40 at 41 years old, you're just saying what it is, right? Like, it's like, remember like the tail end of Kobe's career? And he was just being brutally honest with everybody. And he was like, bro, you don't work hard enough for me to pass you the ball. Like, I'm not passing you the ball. That's just kind of the phase of life that Aaron Rodgers is in. He's in like old, angry, say what it is, blunt man stage of life. And that's okay to me. I actually think it's kind of fire. Personally, I like.
Okay, yeah, when you're winning, but when you're not winning,
what? I don't like that.
You kind of.
The only way I can be honest Is if we win it?
No. I think that it's more swept under the rug if you're winning. But when you're losing like this, and then you got all of these moving parts, and your head coach just got fired, and I know you made the call. It's like
know that.
Didn't I just lay out? I just laid out everything this man got. Woody Johnson is giving this man everything he's asking for. If he wanted Robert Saleh there, Robert Saleh would be there. I'm just saying, like, I just think that he just they need a little bit more confidence, and I think that he may be a little too hard on his receivers, and maybe that's why they kind of.
Whatever happened to men being men? Whatever happened to being able to receive criticism? And if you feel a way about it, say something back. Say something to the man in his face. But it's okay if he acknowledges what actually took place. That's just how I give it up. That's how I feel about it. But, you know, I'm a gangster. Not like Big Meech or nothing like that. But,
Y'all let us know down in the comments, what do you think about this trade for Devante Adams to the Jets? Do you feel like this is what the Jets need to win it all? Or even just the division? Drop down in the comments.